It's a Christmas miracle. My scale shop is all cleaned out and able to be filmed in. It's time now to reflect on some of the awesome projects of 2025 and talk about some plans heading into the new year. Hello everyone and Happy New Year, or Happy Soon to Be New Year, Happy End of 2025, beginning of 2026. I'm not exactly sure when this video is going to be posted, so happy holidays, how about that? While like any other year for me personally, 2025 has had its ups and downs, but for Make It RC, it really has been a fantastic year. Of course, a lot of that is thanks to you guys who buy the products, watch the videos, and support the channel. The amount of folks who have contributed either via YouTube memberships or a Patreon subscription is absolutely overwhelming. I've received so many thoughtful messages and comments from people this year, and even gotten to meet up with some of you guys in person, and it's just been kind of unbelievable to be honest. The amount of talent on display and great people in this hobby is beyond incredible. Whether it be messages from people telling me how much they enjoy watching the videos, or really appreciate the chassis designs and 3D print files, and even take the time to send me some pictures and videos of the stuff that they've built. Like I said, it's really just kind of unbelievable. When I'm building something at the bench or spending hours and hours editing a video, I don't really think that much beyond what exactly it is I'm doing in that moment. I don't really think about all the people who will end up watching it and manage to find it enjoyable. I mean, honestly, after spending many afternoons editing some of these longer videos that I post here on the channel, I find it a miracle anyone would sit through an hour of me rambling about an RC build, never mind people going above and beyond to support this content in a way that so many have, so yeah, huge thank you. I really try not to let it fuel my ego, but you better believe I do let it fuel my RC addiction, that's for sure. So hey, why not reflect on some of the awesome projects I've embarked on this past year, starting with this 1970 Buick GS. Tons of detail on display here. It's got an LS V8 under the hood. Well, okay, at least most of one anyways. But hey, check out that nice full depth interior. I was going for sort of a custom pro touring style look with this car, and I think it really delivers. This project also served as a showcase of some new FFR SC1 chassis pieces, which can be fully adjusted using some 2mm diameter metal rods, easily enabling the wheelbase to be precisely positioned, matching up with just about any 1/24th or 1/25th scale body that you can throw at it. This was really just an awesome build top to bottom. That exterior and interior color combo, some nice detailing all around, and even functional lights. Just try to ignore that one tail light that burned out. I'm not in any hurry to get that fixed on a car of this size. Especially when considering those wheels were FDM 3D printed, those are not high detail resin. I think they look great and match this car very well. Goes to show that high detail resin printing is not necessarily a requirement for producing some nice looking wheels. That said though, those calipers and rotors were SLA 3D printed using resin, and when you've got a car like this that you're kind of going for more of a resto mod or pro touring style look, a nice meaty set of 4-wheel disc brakes can really look the part. Just an all-around really solid project from both an aesthetic and functional perspective. Looks great from the outside, but all you have to do is lift off that body and you've got full access to the electronics below and a relatively durable and well-performing FFR SC1 chassis. With both a 2S and 3S LiPo compatible ESC, this car's got plenty of pep, well at least for an RC model build like this. The 1970 Buick GSX model kit that I used for this project has been released various times under both the Revell and Monogram name, and these kits are pretty easy to find at reasonable prices, and I would certainly recommend picking one of these up. I wouldn't mind building another one of these cars using the same kit. It went together well and it looks great once finished. I did go ahead and detune mine, I guess you could say, deciding to build just a regular GS rather than the top of the line GSX model. This build was one of the real highlights for me personally in 2025, but of course the projects didn't stop there. One of our easy to 3D print FFR SC1 Sport chassis served as the base for the 77 Pontiac Trans Am. Again, just a really nice blend of lifelike aesthetics and a relatively simple, functional RC chassis. Plenty of tire spinning fun to be had with this car. Vintage American muscle not your thing? How about some high-tech German engineering? The legendary Audi R8 was another subject for a plastic model to RC conversion. Despite using our most basic RC chassis design, that being the FPUC1, this car incorporates a ton of detail, including an interior and engine bay, though modified to allow additional room for the chassis and electronics below. Once again, I think a car that really shows a great balance of RC performance and lifelike scale realism. While the FPUC-1 may be the most basic RC platform we've created, I think this project really goes to show that even if you don't have the most lifelike or detailed looking platform, that doesn't mean you can't make it look great from the top. For me, I think one of the real highlights of this project was the wheels. For many projects, you often have to make a decision between functionality and ease of maintenance, or the best possible appearance when it comes to installing the wheels. If you want to lean towards the former, you'll want RC-specific wheels that are attached using a nut just like this. This is the conventional way of doing things, and it's very functional, but that nut in the center can be a bit unsightly. But then if you want to prioritize looks, you can often simply glue the wheels and tires included in the plastic model kit to the functional chassis, with the main drawback of this being that it's harder to remove the wheels for maintenance or repairs if that ever becomes necessary. With this Audi R8 though, no compromise was needed. I designed and 3D printed a custom set of rotors that were compatible with the wheels included in the plastic model kit. That removable nut could sit just behind this outer wheel piece that securely presses into place inside the tire. Still easily removable, but looks great when that outer piece is installed. The award for the most popular build I showcased in 2025 goes to this Mack DM800, sitting on top of our popular CTC01 chassis. This project did present a few challenges. I picked this model kit up from my local hobby shop without knowing anything about it, and as I would find out throughout the assembly process, this kit could be a little bit of a challenge. It's an older design that didn't exactly fall right into place. And even when all was said and done, the alignment of some of these pieces wasn't exactly perfect. Of course, part of this was made even more difficult with the fact I was having to adapt it to work with this custom RC chassis. In the end though, I'm super happy with how this truck turned out, and I'm extremely thankful that so many of you guys enjoyed watching this rig come to life. From the very beginning, I definitely wanted this to be more of an off-road, rugged truck, like something you'd see used for construction or logging. I had previously built that GMC General, which was more of a road-going highway rig, so I definitely wanted something a little different here, and the result was pretty great, all things considered. Before too long, I really would like to get this rig back over to the bench and make a few minor tweaks in a few spots, like I talked about towards the end of that build video. Of course, I also still need to build a trailer to go with it, so definitely not the last time you'll be seeing this DM800 here on the channel. I kicked the performance way up with the next project, putting together this 2005 Corvette. It wasn't just a great looking body on top though, this project featured an all-new RC chassis design. I wanted something kind of like our already well-established FPUC-1. Something that can fit many different model car bodies, and that's relatively easy to 3D print on any typical hobby-grade machine, while also incorporating a fully functional suspension. The result is something I've been really happy with and not only has served as a great base for this Corvette, but also this 94 Nissan 300ZX. While neither of these projects are the most detailed or lifelike builds of the year, they were both a lot of fun and have helped me iron out this all-new chassis design, which I think has a lot of potential to be a great, low-cost, and highly adaptable RC platform moving forward into the future. Just a good balance of simplicity, performance, and a great base for a highly detailed plastic model to RC conversion. The small-scale wrenching and borderline insanity doesn't end there though. I've also been messing around with this super scale 69 Chevelle and this custom 4x4 chassis, which has served as a pretty successful base for this 1980 Jeep J10. Perhaps a little high maintenance, as was discovered during this long-distance off-road challenge, but overcoming these challenges and making this platform better and better has been a lot of fun and a very rewarding process. Look for more updates on this platform and this project in the new year. Also, while I'm showcasing some nice shots here in my scale shop, I was able to do a little update this year, adding some nice custom designed and 3D printed accessories. I know the scale shop and diorama stuff doesn't seem to get a ton of views or engagement like some of my RC car builds do, but I definitely want to do more diorama stuff in the new year, and I've got a really cool project going on currently that I've been slowly making some progress on, and I have showcased a few little teasers on our social media pages. Of course, more on that hopefully coming somewhat soon, but I just really enjoy these scale garages, and one of my New Year's resolutions, I guess you could say, is I want to make some more videos building dioramas and creating these little accessories to put inside. I totally understand the diorama stuff isn't everyone's cup of tea, but to myself and like the 5 other people who watch them, I know we'll certainly enjoy it. Maybe few in numbers, but passionate in their viewership. That's what it's all about. Although worth mentioning that, while the scale shop and diorama videos might not be the most popular here on YouTube, the sales of these kits that we make, along with the STL files posted on Patreon, have been extremely successful for years now. Especially this time of year when everyone likes to build dioramas and work on smaller scale stuff indoors while the weather in much of the country isn't so nice. It's been a phenomenal means of revenue, and we really appreciate all the positive feedback and photos that we get sent from you guys who build some awesome looking shops and dioramas. Just again, thank you very much for your patronage and support. And on that topic, I want to talk a little bit more about the business side of Make It RC and some changes coming into the new year. I'm kind of getting into the mindset a little bit going into this new year where I'd like to keep my hobby a hobby, if that makes sense. 2 things have been going on simultaneously, which is sort of inspiring me, or pushing me, I guess you could say, into changing things up a little. One thing that's been happening is the unfortunate increase in the cost of many of the materials we put into our RC chassis. The hardware, electronics, bearings, stuff like that, it's all going up, some more than others, but as a result it means that the cost of the kits that we sell has to be increased along with it. Or we forget and whoops, there goes that profit. Not that that's ever happened, of course. While many of our designs are certainly unique, when they start to push past the cost of what anyone can go out and buy a ready-to-run micro vehicle for from a major manufacturer, it starts to become a harder sell, even if not exactly an apples-to-apples comparison. Add to that, there's obviously some limits to how refined we can make some of these homebrew DIY RC kits, and this has come about simultaneously with an unprecedented amount of support we've received from our patrons over on Patreon, getting themselves access to 3D print files to print these chassis themselves, and also allowing me more time to spend editing and making videos. It's a fantastic opportunity to really hone in on the stuff that I enjoy, which is making the videos, building the cars, and designing these chassis, parts, and accessories. It's just as the support continues to grow and producing affordably priced kits becomes more difficult, it only makes sense to shift into a greater focus on videos and 3D print files for the more die-hard DIY enthusiast. Also keep in mind that since I got started, there are way more smaller scale RC car kits, ready-to-runs, and products available from major manufacturers with much more resources than what I have access to. Of course, some of these products might not appeal to the die-hard RC model guys like myself and some of you watching who really like to build something custom from the ground up, but for everyone else who may not want a project quite this involved, or just want something that they can unbox and drive right away, the big names in this hobby are going to be far better equipped to meet the needs of that demographic. Also keep in mind that 3D printers have only continued to get better and better, along with being more affordable and user-friendly. Thinking back to just a decade ago to around the time I got started with this channel, it's amazing how far the hobby grade and prosumer grade level printers have gotten. I'm still rocking a lot of older machines, but if you're getting into 3D printing now, for a lot of stuff, it's really just plug and play. Sure, there may be some people out there who want to build a car like this who don't own a 3D printer, and I do want to have at least some options available for them to purchase, but if you're serious about wanting to dive deeper into this niche of the hobby, you'll definitely want to get into 3D printing as it really opens up a lot of possibilities for creating super specific, super tailored parts that can really help to preserve the lifelike details of the model, while of course also making it fully functional. At the end of the day, it's not like I started this journey with the goal of becoming a millionaire, so why not change things up a bit and see how it goes? If the support continues to grow, even beyond where it is already, that's fantastic. Honestly, feel like it's a miracle I've made it this far. If I'm able to spend more time doing builds, creating digital 3D print files, and not doing YouTube full time by any means, I'm not that crazy, but maybe giving myself a set amount of hours every day to just be at the workbench or editing videos, that would be awesome. Right now, the editing is really the bottleneck. It just takes up a lot of time to transform hours of raw footage of me sitting at the workbench into one of these, well, what I hope is at least tolerable videos. But hey, if it doesn't work out, that's fine too. You don't know till you try. I'll see if I can put out some more builds and videos, at least at the start of 2026, and we'll see how it goes. But anyways, that's kind of what I have going on currently. Lots of cool stuff on the way, so I hope you'll stick around to check it out. That's going to be all for today's video. I just wanted this to be a relatively short thank you highlight reel and talk about some goals moving forward into the new year. Hopefully, if all goes to plan, even more cool stuff showing up here on the channel than last year, but we'll see. Cautiously optimistic heading into the new year, but if you'd like to check out any of the projects that I talked about earlier, I have all of the links to those videos down below in the description. Definitely worth a watch if you'd like to learn more about them. But once again, huge thanks for all the support. Happy holidays, happy new year, happy 2026, and I will see you next time.